Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about The Sixth Nik by Daniel Kraus. The Sixth Nik is a science fiction horror novel set some 500 years past our present moment. So, not a near future, but not a far future either. A sort of medium future. Humanity still lives on Earth, but has expanded to Mars and Europa, one of the moons of Jupiter, in this tri-world system. And it has done so partly through the auspices of a sort of cybernetically enhanced child, the Niffakoq, this sort of salvific figure who is receives 6 niks, these sorts of mysterious metal discs of unknown origin that are implanted in the child's head at shortly after birth, and then the child is reared for 9 years or so, and is emotionally and intellectually enhanced by virtue of these sort of mysterious technologies. And at this point they are charged with a chore and are given the amount of time that it takes to solve that chore, to fix that problem, be it climate change or interstellar travel or some such. And then this sort of medical procedure that's been done to them catches up with them, and they die by about the age of 12. We have the story here of Cecilia, the 55th Niffakoq, and her task, which is to explore this far distant planet that has gone offline. It's sort of a first extra solar system sort of space exploration community beyond this tri-world system, but as sort of fallen silent. And so our Niffakoq's chore is to investigate why and to let the people of this planet, called by the inhabitants Fem, which is Hungarian for metal, and bring them back into the tri-world fold. And it's a very sort of classic space opera premise. Go out to a brave new world and explore and report back your findings. But The Sixth Nik is an exceedingly weird book. The spaceship that the Niffakoq is traveling in is a sort of bio-origin spaceship. It's essentially a giant tumor moving through space. It's made of cancerous tissue. It's called the sickness. It's made of all of these different bits of flesh and scar tissue and placenta and all sorts of very strange things. And the crew of the ship, odd as well. Our medic is a frequent user of peyote. The chief engineer, she's undergone all these sorts of surgical procedures. She's like a classic 50s bombshell. And the captain of the ship, he's, a hard-thinking Texan. And it's just really, like, so much going on. And it just pulls you through into these explorations of body modification and the horror and glory of transformation, the agonies and the ecstasies of it all. And we arrive ultimately on this planet and find things stranger than even we expected. There are some funky typographic things going on as well. For one particularly arresting sequence, it's just really powerful science fiction. And let me be clear, it does not shy away from Kraus's horror background at all. This is very rooted in bodies, in flesh, in mortification and necrosis and tumorization It's really goopy in a lot of ways, but so fun. Like, I had an absolutely marvelous time with it. And, as is often the case, when I have an absolutely marvelous time with a book, we had to have a drink. Our drink today is the Niffakoq, and it is a mocktail, because despite being, wise beyond her years by virtue of these cybernetic enhancements and the vast education that the Niffakoq of Grönland can provide, Cecilia is still a 9-year-old child, and so we will not be having any alcohol for our 9-year-old Niffakoq here. But we will start by preparing a glass. So we're going to take this lowball glass and we're going to damp the rim of it, and we're going to rim the glass with salt, like so. Lovely, just sort of roll that around. One of the features of this planet that they're going to explore, Fem, is a rust, this healing rust and this sort of briny salts in the air. And so we're going to bring some of that rusty salt to our Niffakoq, our glass, right here. And then also in the bottom of our glass, we are going to get a bar spoon, a nice solid bar spoon of blackberry jam. So we're really going to prep our glass doubly. And we'll just sort of get this pressed against the bottom of our glass like so. This will be the base of our cocktail, or our mocktail rather. So we've got a base here in the drink, and we've got our salt on the rim. And if you want to muddle some fresh blackberries in your glass instead of getting some blackberry jam, certainly do so. That's a great way to work in some of the fresh flavors of the season. But when you're traveling through the reaches of space, you don't always have what's fresh. That's why we love our blackberry jam. So we have our prepared glass. We'll set that aside and build the rest of our drink in our shaker. We're going to start with a couple of juices. It's mocktail. So we're going to get 1 ounce of pineapple juice. Really love pineapple juice with, wrong side of my jigger. We're going to get 1 full ounce of pineapple juice in here. Lovely. Really love pineapple juice for cocktails and mocktails, especially when body horror is involved, because pineapple eats you back. It has enzymes in the fruit and in the juice that sort of bite into your tongue. It's fresh and fruity and tropical, but it also has that element of being something that you eat that eats you in return, that really feels very appropriate to me when it comes to these sorts of science fictional treatments. It's one that we've used, for example, in our drink for Leech by Hiron Ennis. Another very weird, very excellent book. If you liked Leech, I think you're going to like the 6th Nik. If you like the 6th Nik, I think you're going to like Leech. Primo stuff. And then we'll add 1 ounce of mango juice. Something, again, fruity and tropical, refreshing. When we arrive on Fem, we have these super fruits that Cecilia is eating, that they're growing there. That's part of this sort of miraculous healing properties that the rust and all of the life on the planet seems to support. And this really wonderful sort of mysterious fruit. We can't make a super fruit like you find in the 6th Nik for several reasons, but we'll substitute that with some of our fruits in return. We've got the blackberries, we've got the mango, we've got the pineapple, got all these wonderful fruits together, and we will add as well 3/4 ounce of lime juice for that bite, for that citrusy quality. Lovely. For that brightness, because when we've got all the sweetness from our other fruit juices, that citrus really helps to balance things out. We want that zing to really bring our mocktail together. One of the things that I often find when I'm ordering mocktails out at bars and restaurants, and I'm sort of disappointed in them, or drinks period, is they're just too sweet. They don't have enough of that citrus, that acid bite to them to really bring the drink fully into balance. So we have our 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice in with our ounce each of pineapple and mango. Then for just a touch of sweetness, we'll add 1/4 of an ounce of honey syrup, just a little bit. And then finally, for this slightly herbal, medicinal quality that's raised upon occasion, we have some eucalyptus bitters. I've been loving these eucalyptus bitters lately. They're made by Bitter Queens, a bitters company based in the Bay Area here in the US, and they're just really sort of herbal and crisp and cool and delicious. I like them in a martini. They're really great in this mocktail as well. They're a fun one to play with. Try them in a daiquiri or in a gimlet and see how they can really play around. We're going to get a couple of dashes of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Perfect. We've got all of our liquid ingredients in our shaker. And we're going to add some crushed ice. A good amount of crushed ice down in there. Get all that crushed ice. Never be afraid of crushed ice. Perfect. There we go. And we'll shake it up, wake it up. There we go. Nice frosty freezy. Frost is formed on the outside of our tins, and because we're shaking with crushed ice, that's going to melt faster, that's going to dilute faster, so you're not going to shake that quite as long as you shake drinks with a larger sort of ice in there. We're going to strain this into our prepared glass, lovely. We're going to strain to start, but then we're going to want to get some of that crushed ice in there as well. So we'll just dump that on in. Perfect. There you go. And you see we've got the lovely blackberry at the bottom that's immediately going to start percolating into the rest of our drink. We've got our lovely fruits and herbs up on top and this salt on the rim. And there you have it. That is the Niffakoq, a mocktail inspired by the 6th Nik by Daniel Kraus. The 6th Nik is available now. A huge thank you to the publisher, Saga Press, for sending me a review copy on my request. I had such a wonderful time with it. I've got a link to snag it in the description down below. Also, a huge thank you to friend of the show, Martin Cahill, whose book Audition for the Fox we covered last fall, whose review it was that really put the 6th Nik on my radar and made me say, this is a book that I need to read this summer. I am so grateful for that recommendation, and I had such a wonderful time here with the 6th Nik. Check out our video on Audition for the Fox. I think that y'all will really dig it. We've got links to purchase my book, Cocktails and Consoles, 75 Cocktails and Mocktails to Level Up Your Game Night, as well as Shatter the Sun, the latest anthology from Neon Hemlock, Queer Tales of Untold Adventure, featuring my story, The Peacock Wizard and the Cave of the Serpent Queen. We've got links to various forms of social media, including Blue Sky and Instagram, where there's always a written version of today's recipe. Try the drink. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit that like button. It makes me so happy when you do, and really helps us to know what sorts of books you want to see covered here on Bar Cart Bookshelf. Subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss an episode. We've got some really great books that we're going to be talking about as we head into September, October, all 2026 long. I can't wait to share them with all of you. And until next time, cheers.